back to the Sun Sentinel for a minute. So they were doing this. They started the series on condo law, and this week's series I saw was about violence, and I'm like, wow. A lot of experience when it comes to that, unfortunately. Yeah. But today's show, I can tell you, may make a lot of people a little uneasy about the terrible things that can happen in your community. You know, we're glued to the TV watching the violence in the Middle East, and I'm sorry to say, sometimes the violence can come right into your community.
And you're not kidding, because, I mean, there's been cases that you have had in your career that you've dealt with, that you've seen, that were unfortunately violent,
absolutely,
and they struck a community maybe you were representing?
We'll talk about a few. Yeah, we'll talk about a few really quick this morning. And we're going to start with a beautiful condominium building I was representing, actually, in South Beach. And a kid moves in there, and I say kid, he was probably 32 at the time, and he thinks he's Al Capone. I mean, the guy really thinks he's Al Capone. He had 2 Bentley automobiles, I remember, which he parked right in the no parking zone in front of the courthouse. And this guy bought a pit bull, and he would allow the pit bull to roam off of a leash, scaring the hell out of everybody, right? He punched a woman in the face.
What?
He tased someone with a taser, and he pulled a fire extinguisher off the wall and smashed somebody in the head with it. That's what was going on with him.
This guy sounds like a real nut job. Please tell me that the condo was able to do something about this guy.
So I sue him, and I get lucky.
Civil or criminal?
This is in a civil courtroom, okay? I sue him, and I get lucky. My witness is the wife of an assistant U.S. attorney. I mean, couldn't be better, right?
But he's actually done bodily harm. There's crime there.
Everybody's scared of him.
There's crime, though. He punched someone in the face. That's assault.
Everybody's nervous. Everybody's a little scared. So we go to civil court. And his witnesses were 2 hookers. Honest to God. Now, my cross-examination of them, that was something I'll never forget. In any event, I obtained a final judgment kicking him out of his home permanently. Think about that.
Right.
Can no longer ever go back to
So that's actually better
home.
Than going criminally against this guy. I mean.
So what happened?
What happened?
He appeals.
Okay.
And the decision was affirmed at the 3rd District Court of Appeal. And the chief judge at the 3rd DCA at the time says that his most important role as a judge, period, is protecting the public, preserving the peace. And therefore, he affirmed the decision.
Did he own the condo?
He owned it.
So when you kick him out, what happens to
So this was interesting. He was saying, you can't kick me out of my home. It's
Right.
my homestead. I have a right to go back to my home. The judge said, I'm not preventing you from selling it.
Okay.
Sell it. Keep the proceeds.
Okay.
You just can't go back there. Now, ironically, how does it end up? I get a call that this guy is found in the trunk of a car with a bullet hole in his head in Long Island. Yeah. Not surprising that it ended up that way. You know, what real wise guy. But that's a case, you know, that happened in a South Beach condominium.
That's unbelievable. What about there was a case where a guy, I think he fired shots and he like sprayed the inside of his condo?
This was in Plantation, right? Beautiful neighborhood, beautiful community.
What?
In Broward County, where a guy emptied out, think about this. He empties out an AK-47. He empties out an AR-14. And then when he's done with those...
He didn't kill anybody?
Nope, that's not good enough. He empties out now a 9mm handgun. And he just sprays the walls of his condo unit.
And it doesn't go through to the other side?
It did. It absolutely did go through to the other side.
My God.
You have to see the pictures of the holes in the wall. Okay? People were ducking for their life inside of their bathtub. I have pictures of someone who was...
In their bathtub?
In the bathtub, but people were taking a shower, and the holes that were going next to them while they were in the shower. And they were just diving to, for cover laying on the bottom of their bathtub. It was just terrible. When the SWAT team comes, right?
Yeah.
He gets arrested, and the people in the condo think they're never going to see him anymore.
Sure, right. Oh, my gosh.
I don't even know how to say this. He's let out.
How is that possible?
I
He can go
don't
home?
know. He went home.
Did they let him have guns?
He went back to the condo.
They must have been freaking out when this guy came
They
home.
flipped out.
In a few hours, right?
In a few hours. The people started packing.
Who did that? Which
their
judge
bags.
allowed
I'm
that?
not going to out him on the show.
That is not good.
But now the board is like, what the hell just happened? Eric, help us.
Did he have his guns? Access to his guns?
I'm sure they took the guns away from him. I'll say that. but that still didn't make the people at the condo
No,
feel warm and
you
fuzzy.
you never
fuzzy.
know if he can get his hands on another one.
Another
or he
one,
has
right,
another
right.
one. He maybe has a safe or something.
Right. So we have no choice, and we filed suit against him in civil court. And we got the judge to enter an injunction saying also, get out.
So does this work in an HOA as well, or just
Absolutely,
condos?
100%, yeah.
But if it's like a regular homestead that's not in a community association, then you're out of luck.
No, this could
Civilly?
This couldn't work. If it's rich on a regular block
Yeah.
or something, yeah, much harder.
Much harder.
Much harder.
But if you're an
Because
association,
where he's not following the docs, judge, he's
Okay.
violating the docs, get him out. I can show, he violated the docs.
Okay.
But this was insane. Now, two crazy cases, right?
so were there any other cases where condo owners were shot at, beat up, or threatened?
All right, we had a case. We'll go back to Dade County for a minute, right? A guy threatened to blow up the entire building because he heard the sound of the gymnasium in his. I'm going to tell you something. To be all fairness to this guy, the way that this building was built, the way the developer built the building, it's like even though his condominium unit was far away from the gym, you would think,
Yeah.
as you walk it, the truth is the back of his house was butt up against the back of the gymnasium.
Oh dear.
When someone dropped a weight in
Every
his
time. Boom!
gym, boom, his apartment shook. Okay?
So no.
I'm going to give him that.
Yeah.
I'm going to give him that. However,
So he should have recorded that noise and done a nuisance thing.
Right, exactly. And instead, he said, I'm going to blow up the building. I have the resources to do it, and I was trained how to do it. Never
wow.
forget that.
What
Yeah.
happened to him?
He's no longer living there either.
Oh Lord.
Okay? So our firm, I will tell you this, our firm built up a niche for really having people removed from their home when they're dangerous. And how we do it now is every time we want to do that with someone else, we attach all the
You
orders
set
from
precedent.
the prior cases. Like, Judge, don't be afraid to do this. Look how many judges did it in prior cases. And it kind of makes it easier. I just did it again in Dade County. I forgot what the hell it was. Condo in Aventura.
Was it violence?
I just did it. I just went, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, more threats of violence. And sometimes these things happen not only when it's violence, unfortunately, when things turn to hoarding.
Oh, the
You
hoarders.
can do that thing, right? We've done shows on that before.
Yeah.
But sometimes, obviously, when it comes to violence, don't take it. Don't
No,
take
but
it.
I'm sure that some people are afraid to come forward and testify. I mean, if they're being threatened that the building's going to blow up or they're armed.
Absolutely. But if you don't have people that are willing to come forward, this all sounds great. This all sounds nice. But the truth is, if you don't have people that are willing to come forward and say, Eric, I'll go to court with you. Absolutely. I got it. Can't take it anymore. I'm going to tell the judge I'm afraid. If I don't have somebody willing to testify like that and you're going to stay scared, sorry, then you're going to have to put up with nonsense like this all the time.
The guy that had the place that butted up to the gym,
Yeah.
they kicked him out, so he had the right to sell it. But how is he going to sell it when you've got this gym noise?
I don't honestly know how that turned out.
How that worked
I don't
out.
remember. It was a while ago.
Maybe they just need to incorporate his house into the gym.
One way to do it and buy him out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or maybe there's have an engineer, have an acoustic engineer come in and figure out what can be done. There's probably something that can be done.
I don't know.
But I remember, we had to put up. I do remember them saying in the gym they put up signs that says, "Don't drop the weights." Right? Place them down on the floor.
Right. Well,
lightly.
that's not gonna
instead
happen.
of dropping them. But when I'm bench pressing
Yeah.
800 pounds, it's hard for me to do that.
Sure.
'Cause, I have to just drop them. You know what I mean?
Right.
So.
Yeah, when you're bench pressing.
So I have to drop them sometimes. I get it. It's not easy. But I would like to know if our listeners have experienced violence or threats of violence in their community. Let us know. Let us know what you think about kicking people out of their homestead permanently.